What's up, guys? My name is Max. Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing something very different. So today I'm going to be doing Actually Happened, a reaction video, and I'm going to react to a little more than you expect. Today we're first looking at my brother was dying while my mom was busy partying. Okay, we're just going to do from this screen, and I'm going to be nice today. So bottom center. Nah, not on the bottom center. Okay, they're there.
Hello, my name is Ellie.
Hello,
and I was
Ellie.
born when my mum was only 16. You may think it sounds
God.
cool when your mum is more
Nope,
like a friend
it's not
than a
cool at
parent,
all.
But it's not. It's not at all.
Take the L,
It's
really.
weird to think that I'm now 18, older than my mum was when I was born. My mum had me with her first boyfriend, and he and his family moved away as soon as they found out about my mum's
What a little
I still
piece of
remember a little
crap.
about how I was a little girl, and my mum was still finishing school, and I was with her sometimes. And
What?
I was at her graduation. She tried
Wait, so you're allowed to bring your mother or your kid in school? I sure that's against the rules. Okay.
to apply to college afterwards, but it didn't work out.
Oh,
So she
that's
ended up
sad.
working at a store. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents.
Yay.
But they still had to work, so I couldn't be at their place all the time. Some of these memories are good ones, like when her friends would come over and I would
They're
hang
fake
out with
friends,
them.
I already know.
But now I understand that they didn't really like that.
What did I just say?
They tolerated it. But most of my memories are bad ones, like my mum changing boyfriends pretty often.
Oh my
even
God.
remember some of them. I think the longest was for 2 years, and it ended a little while after my brother was born, when I was 9. Since he was
Nope.
I had to learn to take care of him, because
Oh.
to take care of us. In a way, I felt more like a parent to my brother than my mum.
Oh, your mom is on her butt watching TV.
More often than usual. Sometimes she would even forget to leave money for food.
Oh my
At least she was at
God!
school. Yeah, she needed to work, but she would also just party all weekend sometimes.
Party,
When she
party.
and
No.
me or my brother tried to ask her for
F?
help
You
without
suck at
homework or
math.
something, she would
Well,
say
you're
that she
18 now.
was
Of course you
tired.
don't suck.
Of course, our mum wasn't bad. She would buy us
Okay,
candy
that's
or
cool.
take us somewhere cool like the zoo or the amusement park, and those would be the best days of my life. I guess she was a good friend, but not really a good mum. When I was 15, my brother was 6, something horrible happened. This was the moment that everything changed.
What happened?
After a long week, my mum wanted to relax, so she went to a party
All
with her
those
friends,
lazy
leaving me and my brother home alone.
Wonder if that's your
Again.
boyfriend.
My grandparents were busy, and she planned to be out for just a few hours. I don't know what happened exactly, but my brother started to feel really sick.
Deep
He was pale and red
food
at the
poisoning?
same time, and I don't know if it was food poisoning or a fever.
It's probably
Something
food poisoning.
completely different. I
Fevers can't
panicked and
do
tried to
that.
call my mum, but
There's
she
a
didn't
helicopter
answer.
out there.
So I was searching through the house for some medicine. Too
It's a
scared to call
policeman.
an ambulance because they would ask questions like where our mum was.
Okay,
I tried
don't
to
be
call Mum
guilty.
again, and she answered, but it was so loud that all she could say was, "I can't hear you, sweetie."
Oh
I was
my.
super angry at her, but there was nothing I could do. So I took my brother, sat with him on the bus, and went to the nearest hospital. Nurses were asking me where our parents were, and I said that they had to leave for a couple of hours and their phones had died. I didn't have to lie a lot.
You're
I had to
Pinocchio.
with a few things, so they wouldn't get too suspicious. My brother was generally okay, and ended up having something like food poisoning.
And what did I say? Like,
My mum came to
he's
the
good.
hospital and asked what had happened.
He's
I could
good.
see that she was scared. We went home, and she tried to talk to us and say she was sorry a million times, but I didn't want to hear it. When we arrived home, I finally told Mum everything I thought about her for the first time in 15 years. I said how tired I was of not being able to ever go out
Okay,
on the
so now
weekend
she's
because
15
I
at
had
this
to
point?
babysit my brother. I said how I was tired of her forgetting about us and never helping us with anything, about how we barely had anything, yet she found the time and money to go to parties. I had no
Exactly.
friends or anything because I had to babysit my brother every evening. Then my mum told me everything that was bothering her since my birth. She had always dreamed of becoming a lawyer or just simply going to college, but she made this one mistake that changed her life. She said that she never ever regretted having me or my brother in her life, but sometimes she just wanted to experience the normal life of a young girl. I said that I also wanted to have a normal life of a young girl. My mum started crying and said she was sorry and that she knew she was a bad mother and she was tired of feeling bad about herself all the time, like she was a bad daughter, a bad mother, and a bad person. And I finally said, all you have to do is be here when we need you. I'm 18
That's
now,
me
and
clapping
I'm
right
going
now.
to go to college as soon as I finish school. After that evening,
Aren't you 18?
our
Are you
lives
supposed to
started
go to
gradually
college?
change. My mum tried to be home and to help us as best as she could. It wasn't always good help, but she really tried. I had more time to spend
How old
with
is
my
the
friends
brother at
and to
school?
study as well.
I bet
My
they're
mum
not going
still
to
went
tell
to
us.
parties with her friends, sometimes, but now she was more responsible with her time. She would always ask me and my brother about it and plan accordingly. Of course, it wasn't just that one chat that changed everything. It was very gradual, but it all started from us telling each other how we honestly felt.
Oh,
Please like this video and share it.
that was a nice story. Okay, let's go. The next one we're going to be watching is I portrayed my brother who raised me after we lost our parents. That's
Hi, my name is Peter.
Peter.
I would like to tell you the
I'm
story
Peter
about me and
Griffin.
my brother Sam. It's a story about our awkward relationship. I think it's important to tell you, and I hope you'll understand why. Sam is 9 years older than me,
Okay.
and you know, we are different. And it's not just because of our age.
Oh, you want to
My
see
older
that later.
brother always had zillions of friends, and I'm not a reclusive, but I've only ever had a few friends.
So?
And I don't need any more.
Exactly.
But there is one thing in common that unites Sam and I.
Your brothers?
We were both never that close with our parents.
Oh.
This situation somehow just developed that way, and we never thought that there was something wrong with it. I bet 100 to 1 that some of you will say that we grew up in a toxic atmosphere. But I don't think so. I can't say that my parents are wonderful people, but I wouldn't call them bad either. You see, the thing is that all of us, my father, my mother, my brother, and I, are pretty closed off people, not used to sharing their problems with the rest of the world.
Okay.
Once, my father had serious problems at work, and we were left with no money, not even to live on. But he overcame these problems without even saying a word. My mother finally found out, and there was a huge fight. Nobody can match my mother in the art of the argument. But not because she is evil, oh no. She just has a very hot temper. And she was always very strict with my father. I think she wanted more from him than he was able to offer her. However, these types of arguments between our parents rarely happened. And it was always clean and cozy in our house, and we had all of our meals together at one table, but there was never much small talk during these dinners. Maybe it was because seeing conflict between our parents was unbearable. One argument happened because of Sam's education. He decided not to enroll in college after high school. He saw his future in the service sector and wanted to start getting real job experience as soon as possible.
Okay, that's a good
My father
guy
approved of his
right
idea.
there.
He liked the concept of moving towards success through labor, especially considering that the college
Mom.
tuition would have seriously affected the family budget.
Let me
But my
guess.
mother? Oh, you can't even imagine how my mother reacted. She refused to speak to Sam, dwelling on the thought that he had just fallen under the influence of his father, a hopeless loser, as she said, who wanted to also ruin his children's lives. That, more or less, was the way every conflict started, and as a result, they did a lot of bad-mouthing each other. My mother
Ooh.
would yell that he destroyed her life. My father would reply that she had eaten him alive.
What?
Sometimes they went as far as accusing each other of cheating. I preferred not to take any of this seriously. I tried to sort of switch them off, though it was pretty hard to not hear your parents screaming about how they hate each other. Sam, I think, took these incidents a bit lighter, especially when he grew up, started to earn his own money, and could have left the house if he wanted to. I was envious of his maturity and freedom. Well, I would be forced to grow up soon enough. I was 14 when it happened. The evening was pretty ordinary, except for the news that our grandmother from Paris would be visiting us.
Okay.
You ought to know that she is a very eccentric person, and even a family visit comes as quite a surprise. First of all, Granny hates Parisian taxi drivers, considering them shameless crooks.
Why?
Taxis in America were also blacklisted for some unknown reason. So she insisted that my father pick her up from the airport. Second, she tells us she's visiting once she has literally already boarded the plane. At that day, my father was particularly upset about the odds of having to go to the airport to pick his mother-in-law up. He had had a really exhausting day at work. Sam could have saved the day, but he had been drinking at a bar, so which
Oh,
meant my father had to
he
go.
getting
I
lit.
was very, very annoyed.
I'm
I
sorry
was
if
being
that's
super
bad.
open with my mother about the fact that
Just
he had
saying,
to spend
he
his
get in
scarce
there.
time off to deal with her mother's quirks. My mother started to boil. A new argument was brewing. Sam gave up and went to his room. I went upstairs to my bedroom. I saw from the window that my mother and father were walking to the car together. It seemed like they had arrived at a compromise, but both were still really angry and were arguing as they
Well,
walked.
that ain't having
I
it.
did not want to hear it, so I closed the window and went to bed. At about 3 a.m., I was awoken by the sound of a phone call in the next room, Sam's room. When I entered, I saw him sitting on his bed, burying his face in his hands. It was a loss of control. You know, it happens. If a driver is tired, like our father was, or if something distracts a driver from the road, like, for example, an argument with somebody in the passenger seat. If you were watching my story, just remember, these things can end up badly. My mother and father did not survive the accident.
No!
It's hard to describe the feeling when you find out that your parents are gone. Yesterday, everything was, well, far from ideal, but, you know, it was. And now it's all ruined, and nothing will be like it used to be. And also the feeling of loneliness, which comes after the shock and grief are gone. Now I am 16, and I've been an orphan for 2 years already. And I'm just now able to share my emotions with those who are luckier than me. It was good that Grandma was with us at the moment. She helped us figure out all the formalities. She organized the funeral and paid all the expenses. She even helped us get insurance money, which allowed Sam and I some money to live on for a while. But then, Granny said that her help to her beloved grandchildren was over. She could not take us back to her tiny apartment in Paris, and she did not want to move to the United States. So she said, au revoir, and flew back to France.
What
And
a
I
jerk.
thought that I'd gotten seriously stuck. The last thing I expected was for Sam to go through the motions and arrange for guardianship of me. But that was exactly what he did. He had a job and earned a small but steady income, and I was grown up enough to live with my older brother by that time. All the formalities were settled, but this was only the beginning of our problems. The first problem we encountered was that Sam could not afford our parents' house. So we moved to a cheap apartment with 2 tiny bedrooms, separated by a wall so thin that even a simple nail could break through it.
What?
Now my brother and I had to live much closer to each other than we were used to or wanted. The 9 years is not such a big difference in age, but we always took very little interest in each other's lives. We had never even gone to the movies together. We did not have mutual friends.
That's not
who could bring
normal.
us at least a little bit closer. So, locked together in this tiny apartment, we started to annoy each other. But there were also more basic problems. For instance, Sam refused to take part in any housekeeping duties. Oh gosh, how mad I would get that he had just left it all for me, with the excuse that he earned the money for both of us. I had to wash my clothes and his, I had to clean the apartment, and I even had to learn to cook. My mother kept the house neat, but never taught us anything about an independent life. So at the beginning I felt clumsy and helpless, but honestly, it was just little things. There was something much worse. You see, I don't have many friends, especially ones that I would invite to visit. But if Sam came home from work and saw any of them, he did not even try to hide the fact that he was annoyed. He didn't want to see high school kids at his house when he wanted to come home and relax after a hard work day. So I stopped
what a
inviting friends to
jerk.
our house altogether. But that was not fair, because Sam invited friends at any time, even at night. And every time when he threw a party in our apartment, he asked me to go and take a walk. Finally, I got fed up with that, and I decided not to come back home at the agreed upon time. I did not pick up the phone when Sam called, and it made me happy to think that he was worried. But not because I wanted him to care about me, it was my revenge against Sam for all his behavior. I did not have any money, so I just hung around the city all night, hiding from the police patrols. But Sam finally found me. It was already late morning. I saw his red, tired eyes and realized that he had been looking for me all night long, driving his used car. Later on, I accidentally
Sorry
found
for
out
this.
that he skipped his shift that morning and nearly got fired.
I mean, sorry for this.
Neither of us apologized for that night. In fact, we've never talked about it. But since then, we both did not object to any visitors at the house. But Sam's friends did not forget how I framed my older brother, and they disliked me. They started to joke and even made fun of me when Sam was not looking. They never took it too far, so I did not tell Sam about them, but it was unpleasant to listen to mean jokes from adult guys. I could have probably asked Sam to talk to them, but I did not want to tell him about my problems. The only person from my brother's circle who was kind to me was his girlfriend, Jane. She was 20 years old, and she was very nice and pretty.
I wonder
sincerely
about
could
that.
not
You better be
understand the
careful.
reason why she was dating my ill-tempered brother. I realized that Jane felt pity for me, but I still felt flattered by her attention. When she came home before Sam had returned from work, she would talk to me, and it felt so easy to communicate with her. I did not feel like she was older than me. One day, I realized that I had never talked to anybody else as openly as I did with Jane. I started to envy Sam, that he had such a wonderful girlfriend. And then, I made a big mistake.
Oh, you're trying to get with her.
Jane came home before Sam, like most other ordinary days.
Oh,
We chatted,
God.
ate ice cream, and you know, Jane was very nice to me in a special way. She touched my hand every now and then she said that I had an ice cream mustache and brushed it away with her finger, laughing so sweetly.
No!
Well, I tried to kiss her. I do not know
Oh
what
my
I was
God.
trying to kiss my brother's girlfriend, but I almost did it. And what happened next literally destroyed me. It looked like the devil had suddenly possessed Jane. She slapped my face, she screamed, and then she called Sam in her cell and, crying, started to ask him to come home as soon as possible. But my brother was already nearby and was there within a minute.
Okay.
And then Jane accused me of harassing her.
What?
Can you imagine? She cried and repeated that I had attacked her, but it was a lie. I was shocked, but Jane's next words finished me. Crying on, she demanded that Sam get rid of the juvenile delinquent in this house. And then I understood that all Jane's kindness with me was a lie.
Frick.
She was just looking for a way to get rid of me. I had heard many times that she would like to move in with Sam if they had the opportunity. I left the apartment and rushed down the stairs, but I only managed to reach the nearby bench because I burst into tears. Because of the resentment toward Jane, because I detested myself, because the world was an incredibly unfair place. I got myself together when Sam sat near me and put a Coke in my hand.
I'm sorry, guys. We're only reacting
kept
to this
silent
one,
for
and
a
that's
while,
it. Because
and then
I
he
said it was going to be a lot, but this is the
that he
part
did
1
not
to this
believe
video.
Jane, and that we would not see her again. I am not sure, but
And why? New
the
York.
first time since I was a kid, I hugged my brother, and I understood with shame and happiness how wrong I was about him. There is nobody else I trust in this unfair world apart from Sam, my brother. Well, this is my story. It will
Hey, that was a long story. So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I'll see you in the next video. And before I go, how about you can do something very nice? You can subscribe and see this video right here. Or you can press on that poll to see my update on the videos. No, wrong poll. Right here. No, maybe point right there. Just click on that poll.